Hello all, my name's David. I am a low vision autistic dad. I live in Ontario, Canada. The vehicle I'm currently sitting in is my family's vehicle. It is a 2021 Honda CR-V. I am right now in the passenger seat. There is no driver, and the vehicle is completely stopped in its parking spot. So no worries of anything there. Today, I'm going to tell you about a really interesting thing that's going on. I am embarking on a really cool new journey. So, one of my colleagues told me about this, and I personally started digging in. So, I'm jumping ahead. I am looking into what is called Bioptic Driving. I was recently informed about it. So, to back up even further, I was born completely blind, or pretty close there too. At 3 months old, I had cataract surgery, and then throughout the school years and that, I wore contact lenses since that 3-month-old. And the script changed over time, and eventually my doctors were able to really get my contacts to a really awesome place, especially once I turned 18. I remember being able to actually see my parents very clearly for the first time, and it was absolutely life-changing, genuinely. Today, I now wear contact lenses, as I am in right now. I also wear my glasses that are bifocals, so they are reading lens down here, and there's nothing actually up at the top. They're just a blank script up there, and that's just simply to allow me to read easier. My vision is still not perfect, obviously, but it's pretty good, by my standards at least. And apparently the government has recently, in Ontario, now allowed what's called Bioptic Driving, which is a device that sits above your glasses and lets you see really far distances to drive, depending on how good your base vision is. This is really interesting to me. I've been told my whole life, since I was a kid, sorry, bud, ain't gonna be able to drive. Which, not ideal. Not ideal. I really started to feel that when my wife actually got her full license and we owned a vehicle, and, you know, my name's on the ownership and all that kind of awesome stuff. It's the vehicle we're sitting in right now, you know. It was really cool to be able to, you know, oh my goodness, there's a vehicle that I own, that it's mine. But I can't drive it. You know, I can start it up and do like quick, check a setting, but that's about the most I can really do with the thing. I can't really, can't take it anywhere. And, you know, that's really been what I've been told my whole life. As I said, a colleague recently who is also low vision mentioned to me that they're going through some stuff through their doctors and whatnot to learn about bioptic driving and to go down that route. And they explained to me what's going on and that. And so I recently had a appointment with my optometrist, and I said, hey, what's up with this? Am I a good candidate? And he laughed and he said, David, I was thinking on my way into work this morning when I knew you were on my roster, if it wasn't for you bringing it up, I was bringing it up. So, obviously a point of possibility, something for us that he wanted to have that chat. I am now scheduled to go through the assessment stage. So, none of this is a guarantee. None of this is a guarantee. I don't get to guarantee nothing. And it's a very costly endeavor, I won't lie. But I'm fortunate that we can handle that burden. It is, you know, going to be a really impactful piece, I think, to me. I'm really excited. So the next step is to actually get an assessment on my vision proper to see if I meet the qualifications. If I do, then we go ahead and we order the Bioptic telescope, which I will frankly look forward to telling everybody about. I do plan to do more videos about these. They're going to be spaced apart pretty wide, I suspect, in the interim. Because I know through what my colleague's going through, he gets news about once a month or so. Especially there's a lot of stages of what I've seen. There's of this is, you got to do the assessment, you got to wait to get the device, then you do 3 to 5 trainings of the device, and then you wait for the government. And then once the government says, yep, then you get to go and do training out in Barrie, Ontario. And once that stage hits, then it's I hope a little more frequent. I'm really excited for when that stage, if I get to go to that stage, because at that stage of what I've been told, you get to get behind the wheel. That to me is really awesome. What I've been doing in the interim is I've been actually looking, while my wife is driving, I've actually been watching for road signs, trying to get used to the idea of looking around, seeing what road signs exist and that kind of thing, to get that in my head, to start getting that narrative in my head and learning. My wife actually let me readjust her seating area to see what it's like to sit in the driver's seat. I've owned this vehicle now for coming up almost on a year, and I'd never sat in the driver's seat. I remember the feeling. It was surreal to sit in the driver's seat of a car. I'd never done it. Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say never. I have done it, but a car that's mine really was different. So this to me is huge. Especially as a dad. One thing to me, obviously, safety is going to be critical. I care deeply about the safety of my daughter. But at the same token, assuming, I see myself as a safe driver at the end of this, I really think this could be amazing, where I can actually do more with her and not have to rely on others for that help. And that means the world to me. The freedom I see from the potential of this is going to change everything, I think, for me. I wrote out a great script for this, and I've gone completely off the word go with this, and I think that's okay. I think I want this channel to be you and I, the audience, and myself having very honest and open conversations about what it means to be a low vision driver, what the experience is like, the emotions. I've been looking on YouTube, like you do, and I can't find a lot of things from the patient's perspective, from the person's perspective. There's a lot of amazing resources from doctors and trainers and that kind of thing, and you can see the odd video of somebody, and testimonials, but I couldn't see a lot of content that was from my perspective, that was, what is it like to go through it and the emotions and that. Because especially for those of us that are, or at least not even to speak for everybody, to speak for myself, for those where, at least for myself, where being born, where I've been told time and time again, as I said, nah, you ain't going to drive. Ain't going to happen, chief. Is hard, and then to suddenly, well, actually, maybe, I can't explain that level of excitement. The joy that sits brimming with just the idea. The fact that suddenly I might be able to drive, that it might be me sitting in the driver's seat riding this car. That is awesome on so many levels. And I've named the channel White Cane, Wide Open Roads because, well, hey, I have a white cane. But here is to some wide open roads that I really hope you will join me on this journey, as I hopefully maybe get the ability to get a driver's license. If you enjoy this content, please make sure to like and subscribe. My goal will be to keep everybody updated. Absolutely leave comments. I plan to read all that I can, and I apologize for any poor editing and poor video quality right now. I'm sitting in, as I said, I'm sitting in the car right now, just after getting the kiddo to sleep, so with my wife paying attention to the baby monitor. So, you get the opportunities when you can. So I appreciate everybody, and again, here's to Wide Open Roads. You have a great day.